Is this the biggest Carcassonne collection ever? The video will be dedicated to the Carcassonne expansion 10 under the big top. So you may notice this is just a bit of cardboard that I'm saving here. It's because I wanted to save everything inside the big box, box that you saw, the Carcassonne big box. And I could not fit all the expansion, including some of these boxed expansions. So some of them, you will see those in the future as well. I got rid of the box, but I just kept like the top part of the box where we can see the art, and the below of the box where you can see the details of the expansion. So like previous ones, this is not one expansion. It's a aggregation of smaller mini expansions, which includes the Circus, the Ringmaster, the Acrobats, which at least they seem to be connected in terms of theme. Let's see if it's only one thing or if these are split in modules that you can add or not. Okay, so what you can find inside this is not only the manual where you can see the circus style, animal tokens, the big top, lots of things. Okay, then there's another thing separated, which are the acrobats. Maybe the acrobats just go around the city, not necessarily the circus, and the ringmaster, and how these expansions connect with previous expansions. Okay, so I'm gonna just pull all the content here below to show you what you have. There's the ringmasters, and there's some kind of podium. Oh no, that's a tent. That's the circus tent. So cool, the circus tent. And there are these animal tokens that we'll see how it works. So it's like a circus arena on one side, and then you have this. I'll show you in detail. And there are sometimes that, unfortunately, now they are very spread, but I'll just put everything together now and show you these expansions one by one. Let's start then with the circus style and the animal tokens and big top, the circus tent. So for these, you have these tiles that have these circles, which is a place where the tent, the circus tent, will land. Okay, so you can use these tiles to place them normally. They come out mixed in the middle of the normal tiles, and when you do that, you randomly pick one of these animal tokens, okay, which could be things like tigers, which have 6 points, the seals 4 points, monkeys are less, or the elephants 7 points. Okay, so you pick one randomly. These should be all face down or in a pile. You put here, and you put the top, the circus on top. Then by placing this tile, if you close the structure, you will normally get those points like normally you do. And that's it. So later on, when another player draws a circus tile, okay, and places that circus tile in the same way, that player will close whatever he has open, okay, normally. But then this circus tile will be moving. The circus, like normally they move on the road, they migrate to different places. Circus are never in the same place for long. They move there, and then you reveal what was below. So it was, in this case, a 7, the elephant. All the tiles surrounding the circus, every player that had meeples there, you will multiply the amount of the value of the animal, which in this case it will be 7. You multiply it by the number of meeples of your color. Okay, so if I had a meeple here or here, still waiting to be used by structure, I get 7 plus 2, 14. 7 times 2. And then if there is another player with a meeple surrounding this, it will get also 7 multiplied by the number of meeples. So that's could be good or bad depending on the animal. Important to notice that these meeples that are used for calculations, they don't go away. Okay, they are not back for the supply, they stay there. So the logic here is that those were spectators of your circus, and they pay this in points to watch your animal, and that's why you earn those points. Let's take a look at the Acrobats now. The Acrobats is an expansion that has these 8 tiles, and there are roads, which includes crossroads, where this is the acrobat field, and you have 2 places in each of them, as you can see. So these places are intended to, when you place it on a road, you need to decide if you prefer to put a meeple in the roads, in the fields, or if you prefer to put it in the acrobat space, which will become an acrobat. Okay. Then later on, anyone that places an adjacent tile, this one is an example of an acrobat, but forget about that, may decide to put a meeple on a normal structure or just place it as well in the acrobat field here adjacent. And then later on, when someone, including yourself, places something adjacent to the previous acrobat field, you can decide to again put his meeple on a structure or use his meeple to finish an acrobat pyramid. And I'm going to do this on camera for the first time to see if it works. It does. It does. There's the acrobat pyramid. It does. However, now as the manual says, when the acrobat pyramid is finished, it's not scored immediately because, you know, as the manual says, the acrobats like to display their skills for a while, so it stays there a little bit. And then what happens is later on, instead of placing a meeple and any other figure, you can score the completed pyramid. Okay. So this means that each of these guys will be worth 5 points for each player, and they are taken out, and you get 5 points for each. So it's a way for you to accumulate points there until someone decides to score the pyramid, which should be you. For you to do this, you don't place a meeple, and then after putting a tile, what you do is you take these meeples out from the pyramid and you score, and they go back to your supply. And then these spaces become available again. So if later on someone puts something new adjacent, they can decide to put again a meeple there. And the thing with the pyramids is that they only score after having 3, so it's a huge investment of everyone. But in the end of the game, if there are incomplete pyramids, you still score 5 points for each acrobat there. So you really don't lose anything if you put it's 5 points guarantee. Could be sooner and then you get the meeple back, or later. But at least it's always 5 points there. The last thing that comes into this box are the Ringmaster meeples. So in the beginning of the game, you get one from your color, like normally do, and then later on you can use it to place as a normal meeple. You cannot make him as acrobat. So basically what you do is you place it on a structure like you normally do, and then what happens is these Ringmasters, they need to be played with Circus and Acrobats, both preferably, because they will, once you complete the structure where the Ringmaster is, you will score 2 normally the structure that you complete, and then 2 more points, 2 additional points for every or any Circus and Acrobat tiles that he has adjacent to him. Adjacent to him by meaning the 8 tiles are surrounding him, including diagonally. So imagine here that I would close this road here with the Acrobat, then this means that I would get the points, and then I would get 2, 4, 6, 8, because the Ringmaster is surrounding 4 structures from this expansion. Okay. Please note that this could be empty, doesn't need to have the Circus or Acrobats, it's just from the tiles, from the Acrobat and Circus tiles that you score. Okay. After scoring, the Ringmaster goes back to your supply and you can use it later on. So it makes no sense for you to use the Ringmaster expansion without the other 2, because if it really wants to make a difference, it needs to be with everything inside. Okay, so I guess this expansion is very thematic and should work together with everything. Other expansions, there's no real connection between the stuff that you found inside. This one really feels that Carcassonne is invaded by the Circus and you should put everything in, and that's it. So I hope you've liked this video to the point that you consider hitting that like button and subscribing. I'm building this playlist for Carcassonne content, but I have similar playlists to many other board games, as well as the major card games in the market. And if you like podcasts, I have a podcast called Table Talks, where I'm interviewing people to get to know their projects, their profiles, their stories while playing board games online with them. So I definitely think that if you take a look, you will find interesting content in the channel to consider subscribing and to be part of this community. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you on the next one. Goodbye.